All right, folks. Good afternoon, it's your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bobby Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, this is I've been getting some good interviews in this new year. This is going to be I think my fourth interview, and this is in the new month of February. Hope everybody enjoyed your what's Groundhog's Day. Seemed like it's a nice sunny day out where I'm at, and we have here is an NPC physique competitor, one Miss Amanda Snooks, and she is. There is one thing about this. She is from Canada, and you know I'm a fan of your body from Canada, and it's great, to meet you. So introduce yourself and say hello to the people and the fans.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you.
So the big question is, what got you into the sport?
Well, in my young 20s is when I got into bodybuilding. But as a kid, I've always played sports in school. I was a very active kid, gymnastics, rugby, track and field, like every sort of sport that you can imagine, I've played it. So I was just looking for something to challenge myself. Ended up meeting a lot of people that compete, and I think I was 22 or 23, and I went to a fitness camp, and it was a camp for women. Basically taught them how to work out, nutrition, that type of thing. It was all weekend long, and it was with Jen Hendershot, who was a fitness competitor. So she was a pro fitness competitor, and ever since then, that's what I knew I wanted to do, is get into bodybuilding.
Yeah, because I know, like I said, I follow you on social media, and you were a big horse rider. You used to do the barrels and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You still ride now, or you just?
Still ride. I'm actually living in Florida now, so my parents are the ones that have my horses. Um,
Mm-hmm.
of the whole COVID and everything, I couldn't bring them here for
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of reasons.
Yeah.
Uh, so they're still, but I still ride. Yes.
Yeah, and that thing is like you live in Florida. Florida is now has the last few years has been a mecca for bodybuilding. I know some people we know in common, like Janine Lakowski.
Actually,
Yeah,
Canadian, really good.
yeah, a fellow Canadian. Also Nancy Lewis. Quite a few ladies live in that because you know what, it's a great. I think probably a good place for a bodybuilder because you know what, the weather is kind of. I think the worst it might get is maybe 70 degrees, like that, and
Yeah.
every now and then, yeah, every now and then you get a tornado or you get hurricanes every now and then. But hey, that's what the sacrifice of living on a state that's close to the ocean. Here we have a couple people come in. Zachariah C. Moore. Hello there, Amanda. Wishing you the best.
Thank you.
Also, my good friend of mine, Brooke Borral, Big Dog George, the the Rage Page. What's up, bro? What's up, Brooke? Appreciate you for coming through. Now, you've been competing as an amateur for quite some time. And being that I would say I'll call you type of person, you have your boots on the ground, 10 toes down. Now, what's it like, being an amateur and you seeing other people getting the opportunities, and just hitting to the pro level?
For me, it was a struggle for me when I first started because I never really believed in my potential. Um, so I just put my head down and worked, and I would say 2016 is when I really decided, or when I noticed my potential and what I was capable of. And ever since then, just been going to the hardest shows possible, basically, to get the judges recognition, have them see me, see what my physique is. Every year I just get better and better. And we're just waiting on that pro card. So
Mm-hmm.
I know one of these days it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So really it's just a grind until then. And then we'll have new goals after that. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing is, like, a lot of people don't know about the NPCs. It's the amateur level of professional bodybuilder, building. And what's some things that you can give us that us people who don't know much about amateurs as they do as the pros?
I would say you always would treat yourself as a pro. If you see yourself as a pro, you have the potential obviously to become a pro. A lot of people have met me or who know me um, really, I think, recognize me as a pro just because I've been competing for so long. I've, paid my dues, as I say. Um, so really, it's just a matter of the opportunity and a show that's going to recognize you for your physique.
Yeah. Once again, we have here from Brooke Burrell. Yo, George, how do you know all these beautiful queens? You have a fan. You know, and oh yeah, once again, Brooke says, Miss Amanda, what other sports are you interested in? Now he just missed it because she mentioned she's a tomboy coming up, so she'll tell you what are sports that you said again. You said rugby, you
Uh,
know.
so when I was in high school, I played rugby, basketball, volleyball. I was in track and field and was basically the fastest sprinter in my school and in the county for years. And then obviously competitively horseback riding, like in racing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like a lot of women, the number of women who get into sport start off competitive sports. I know somebody who track and field, some play basketball. They did a array of sports, but there are some women who get into it because of health issues. They want to get in better shape. What advice, if you could give anybody who's thinking about getting to the sport, and what things they can need to do to prepare themselves for to be a competitor?
I guess it would depend on what sport you're going to play, but it starts with the mind first. So having that type of mentality to be driven and have a passion for something. That's why, like, mine started with competitively horseback riding, racing. So that's where I got my work ethic and my mentality to be driven.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of transcend into bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that people got to recognize this. These ladies, they do this sport for a passion. It's not a very, very spin drift kind of sport. That's why I have her social media information in the description. So you want to reach out, or maybe if you're somebody who's interested in sponsoring a competitor, that's a good thing that helps, especially in the amateurs, NPC levels. If you get to it, like how the best way to say it, Tom Hanks said in the movie Green Mile, get them while they're young or they're up and coming. You can really help build somebody up as a future competitor. Once again, is your future baby daddy, Brooke Burrell. Miss Amanda, I mean no disrespect, but do men find you intimidated because you are with your muscles? That's the thing is we often say like, do guys find you like she got big muscles? I'm scared.
I would say like maybe the average man does. Not any men that I talk to, but I would say yeah, maybe the average person would, just because they don't see women with muscles very often. So when you're out in the general public, it's kind of like you're a circus freak because they don't
Mm-hmm.
see that type of thing every day.
Yeah, because there is a prejudice against women with muscle. The ideology is that women, if you compete in a masculine sport, it's say you're trying to be a man, but you're not being a man. You are being an athlete, and you got to respect your commitment and passion for the sport. Now, everybody can't be like, look at me. I'm not built. I used to play football. I did sports, but then I got older and life hit you hard, and I can't keep up like I used to. But you got respect for what you do, and people will point fingers. And we know, if you had saw recently, there was a passing in the sport. A young lady by the name of Ashley Gearhart just passed away, and that's
Right.
one of the things. Yeah, that's one of the people will point fingers at. About just last year we had like I did some content about a bunch of people that passed away last year, and that's the one thing to point finger at your sport. Say, hey, you're on this, you're on that, you're on that. But then if you look at other sports where they use the same type of stuff and they do the same type of thing, and just because it's a mainstream sport like football, basketball, baseball, hockey, boxing, it's hard. With that long ago, there was a congressional hearing on baseball. So what's your opinion on all these what's going on and where everybody always pointing finger at your sport?
I think people point fingers because they don't understand. Yes, we're extremists, but the other side of the coin is you don't really know what that person, what they died from. They could have had some sort of disease or heart issue that you didn't know about. I mean, there's tons of things that happen that are like under the radar that people don't know about. So of course they're gonna point fingers because they don't understand.
Yeah. Here got my partner here, my dear friend Mr. KLAA. Shouldn't go against nature. He used to be longer, but I don't see too many epis in my meditation. You know. Also, once again from Brooke Burrell. Again, I mean no disrespect. I think you are so beautiful, and I think you do have a little crush on you. He has a crush on you. Oh,
That's very sweet.
and that's the thing is because with the with women bodybuilding, like your division physique and women bodybuilding, your fan base is basically like this. It's you could just break it like this. With the men, their fan base is mostly guys who are fans of bodybuilding, guys who are come say come sa, and a good number of women. But with
Right.
women, your fan base is going to be mostly men, and then you have a good number of women who like I think the women who have admire you because your commitment. And some women even eventually, if they meet a few bodybuilders, you know what, I might want to try that. Maybe just go in to get myself in better shape. But I have talked to somebody who said they did it for getting better shape, and then all of a sudden, they meet somebody and tell them, boom, I think you got potential. Was that like that with you when you started? Is somebody say, hey, well, you think about competing?
Um, the reason why I got into competing was a lot of people telling me that my physique sort of had potential to to be a good bodybuilder. I trained. I have always trained since I was younger, and I never really took it too serious. Um, and then, I started training with one of my guy friends. He was like, you should go to this fitness camp and, you should really learn from some women and, it might inspire you to do other things. And as soon as that happened, I knew that I wanted to not only train people and help people get to some type of a fitness goal, but also to compete.
Coming through is my brother from CS Combat Sports, Gucci 23. Hey, George Page and Amanda Snooks. Hey, bro. I hope you're doing well. I hope we get to chop it up tomorrow on our MMA cast. He's one of my brothers. We talk about MMA. Now, are you a fan of MMA? Ever watch mixed martial arts?
I'm a fan. I don't get to watch it very often, but I definitely, when I do get to watch it, I will definitely turn it on. So
Yeah, because like I think there's some comparisons with women and men, even though your sports are different. I think there's some comparison because the fact is you don't get as recognized compared to your male counterparts. As you know, as an amateur, you don't get paid. You don't get money like you do when you hit the pros. And that's the thing is, you put in more money, then you're not getting much as back. And you like I said, I mentioned like she might need a sponsor who wants to back her up financially. Somebody who can provide maybe some help out with, like, especially the cost. Because it's way heavier more on you as an amateur than it does as much as a pro, because you got your opposing suits, hair and
I
makeup.
really think that's true. I think that that's another thing that people don't understand is you still have to have a really good job. Just because you become a pro doesn't mean that everything is paid for. You're not signing a multi-million-dollar contract like you are when you're in the NFL or something like that. You still have to have a really good job, and it's an expense. You have to really love it, and there's a lot of sacrifice that you have to make.
Like how some ladies they do GoFundMe's, some do other ways to pay their expenses. Some do like sites like as I call, excuse my language, beat the meat sites to try to pay their for their
Right.
expenses. And then you have a job. That's the thing also. Even with your job, that not be enough. And with the men, as I keep talking about this, how, as I call them, the banana hammocks, they can go do a show, you win, you probably get much as you put back in. But for the women, even in your division and in women's bodybuilding, what's like if you look at a show, like I think the highest paid for maybe outside the Olympia or the Rise of Phoenix is maybe $4,000 or $5,000, and then
Right.
the cost of everything else, that's not much.
No, and I mean that's something that really needs to change. Even with the Olympia or shows like the Arnold, those are two of the biggest shows and prestigious shows, in my opinion, and they're still, peanuts when it comes to looking at the categories and what they're paid for us women as opposed to the men.
Yeah, but once when we just mentioned the Arnold, and like I said, I'm a movie fan, I'm a movie buff, and one of my favorite movies, I'm gonna keep repeating this, is Dark Knight. The Batman Begins with Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale as Batman, and the part where Liam Neeson is Henry Cott, and he's becoming Ra's al Ghul. He tells Bruce Wayne, how you take care of your enemy, you walk behind them and stab them in the heart, and that's what Arnold did to you ladies at the Schwarzenegger on the show. You were a replacement after they stabbed Winbody in the heart, and now you get the same knife in the back. Now, how does that feel? Like, I know there's a lot of ladies goes to go to like either Olympia or the Arnold, even though you have more shows. That's not gonna hurt you, but still to lose that show.
Well, I would say like the last 3 years, they haven't at the Arnold. They haven't had a women's bodybuilding or women's physique, and it's a shame because they brought back women's bodybuilding, and it's excelling and coming back. And thank God to Jake Wood for all of the support that he has, instilled and brought it back for us. But unfortunately, shows like the Arnold, that type of thing needs to change.
Yeah, I like to think I'm a fan of Jake Wood, and I like to quote another movie like, Jake, I want to get that money, I want to get that gun. Hey, Jake, if I ever meet him, I'm gonna tell him that, because once again, my man, X23, keep grinding for fam. You're almost close to 700 subs. Thank you, brother. I'm that far. And also, once again, this is from your future ex-husband, Brooke Burrell. Miss Amanda, do you have any advice for a young, aspiring bodybuilder in a wheelchair with type 2 diabetes? And he is, he mentioned that he goes to that. So you have any, for...
I would say, there's wheelchair bodybuilding in big shows like the Olympia and stuff. So that's truly inspiring. And I would just say, just be as driven as you can. If it's your passion, just absorb everything that you can, learn about it, get a good coach, and just ask a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, like I said, we talked about how the things should be changed in sport of bodybuilding. What changes should we see other besides financial changes? Which I'm not saying that people say like this, we're really not going to get the same money as like a big Rami guy at the Olympia, but at least a little something where, okay, I would say like at the Olympia, Andrew Shaw should at least get $100,000. And that would have been enough. That would have been enough to pull a pocket money, and also sponsors should take the opportunity because most of you ladies use the same apparel, the same product as the men, and they'll get the chicks that are bikini or or now you have the wellness models. And I would say if you use some of the female bodybuilders, you get a lot of guys who might want to use the product because they're a fan of the women.
Right. And a lot of that stems from like the marketing side of things. A lot of people think that and it's no just for like bikini models or anything like that, because they grind just as hard as we do. But they would see them as more marketable because of their physique. No, I don't really think that, in hindsight in the public, women want to be in the forefront. It's funny that like women's bodybuilding really hasn't been in the forefront of, magazines or, television. So that's something that there's a few women, myself included, and I have a few girlfriends that are looking to change that. So we're doing all that we can on our side to kind of change that type of a marketing plea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I talk about this. I do like a discussion with some ladies. We talk about how things need to be changed, like especially financially, and also being that you have not a pro yet. But I know one thing I talk with some ladies that how they get their pro card, they have to pay like $300 a month. That's another expense, and then what you get out of it. Like even if you think about it, if you look at professional. Hmm. Yeah, if you look at professional sports where which you have like a union, yeah, you have a union stuff like that. If something happens, like I just recently my a man who I consider my big bro, Mr. Big Keith Williams, he just had surgery a while ago. We talked about this how it should be like like something like a pension program. Like he played for in the NFL, and he still gets a little pension from them. It should be something like health things to help out, especially with some of you people. Some of you people get sick, and you might need something to kind of to help you with finances.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bigger high ups are getting all the money. The people that are involved in the federation, and it's not going to the athletes.
Yeah, especially in your level as an NPC, I think it should help a lot of you amateurs too, because the fact is, you're the ones that people come to the show. No one comes see these higher ups in a posing suit, in a banana hammock on stage. We come to see you, and I think if anything, your athletes should be important.
Yeah,
But because it's considered like bodybuilding is considered a fringe sport, and it doesn't get as much. It's just something we talk about how it doesn't get as much recognition. Now, who do you see are you a fan of in this sport? The people who like, wow, these people are just like the gold standard in your mindset.
yeah.
Look,
Well, we're looking to change a lot of things in the marketing aspect, and I've just started getting into movie role. I have a big movie we're shooting all summer, and I've been cast in an opposite, close to the lead cast, close to the lead roles. So I'm actually happy that a woman in bodybuilding, is actually going to be in the forefront of a movie instead of in the background.
yeah, that's good. I know one lady who was in a movie was Sue Price. She did those what was it, Nemesis movies years ago, and I think she was one of the few like Sue Price. I know Corey Everson did some movies. Richard McLeish. I remember Kim Savetsky was in the movie The Cell. She only had a little part where she walked around topless before. It was just a little small part. But yeah, and I used to remember when I was coming up, bodybuilding used to be on television. You used to watch it. I used to catch it on NBC, like on like any other sports, and ESPN used to have it, but now they don't show it anymore. Not even the men. You can show poker, and what's poker? But it's about money, and whatever sports popular. I mean, that's one thing. If we can, but the good thing about it is now that it has you pay-per-view and stuff like that. You can catch a show. I think sometimes they might even do some pay-per-views for your for the NPC. Hello, hello. You hear me, Amanda?
Yeah, it definitely needs to change. You need to go back to.
Wait, wait. I might be having issues. Man, I might be having an issue real quick. I don't know what's going on. You were going in and out.
Okay.
Let me check something real quick. If it's, just stand by. Yeah, we lost connection. We're going in and out. I can, you there? Can I hear you? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. It must be something with your Wi-Fi. It might be
Yeah, I'm
Wi-Fi.
here.
I got my man coach said I got that George Page Wi-Fi. Folks, like I said, check out her information description. To reach out to her if you're serious about promoting an up and coming competitor. Be serious. And here's my rule, fellas: no D pics, no that freaky stuff. Keep that to yourself. We don't want to see that. These women are serious competitors. They don't want to see that.
Yes,
We don't see your Timmy Wagger. We don't want to see your little man Johnson. We don't want to see your Oompa Loompa. No. Be respectful. Don't be that guy. So anyway, now, since you've been competing, what would think what really inspires you to keep on doing what you're doing? What do you feel like some days you get up in the morning and say, you know what, I just want to go to bed. I just want to eat a burger. I just want to just be like everybody else.
I've never never aspired to be like anybody else, but and I've never aspired to be average. But of course, there's days where you don't want to go to the gym. There's days where you lose motivation. There's days where, you know, you're tired, where you don't want to eat what you're supposed to eat. But and it's all mental. So it starts with your mind first. And I also think when those days happen, I also think of my goals, what I aspire to. I do go to the gym. You know, you're not always going to have good days, just like anyone. But I think what keeps me is seeing my body transform each year. Each year I get better and better, and I surprise myself. So I think really that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have. Like I said, what a lot of ladies I talk to say is consistency. You just keep doing what you're doing. Keep a routine. It can be difficult. It's just just one of these things that makes bodybuilding such I would say one of these great sports. Now, being from Canada, how's it like being? How long you have been living here in the States? What was your feeling when we moved from the Maple Leaf country, come out here to us crazy Americans? America.
I've lived in the States on and off since I was like 23. So, I went home for a while because I missed my family. Now there's all kinds of stuff going on because of COVID. So I'm glad I'm not there. I still have family, but there's the restriction now. But yeah, that I'm originally from here, and but that's where my roots are. So I love it here.
Yeah, I know your Canadians are very polite people of polite nature. And that's the thing is that ever since the virus hit, I call it the virus. I don't like it. Repeat that again, because I think we're going in and out.
We're raised to be very polite.
Yeah. We're about to like hit down. Yeah, I can hear you going in and out for a second there, but I heard you. You raised to be polite. And that's kind of like I'm from the South, and we were taught also to be nice, say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. But sometimes, even how well you're raised, some people don't act like they are. Now, we have here is what's my man XA. Thank you, XA, for supporting me. We'd like to also thank all the other people coming through.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, bodybuilding is a great sport for if you are somebody who's serious who wants to compete, and also there's also the size to it where it's difficult, financials, everything else. The cost of living is especially, you have to work, you have to train. There's so much you have to put into the sport. Now, and also like I said, you are right now. Are you getting ready to compete this year, or are you going to take a break?
I'm looking to compete in June and July. So I just started prep. We're at 20 weeks right now.
And you have competed at the Olympia Amateurs, I think 2 or 3 times in your career?
I think 3 times.
And that's like, if we know there's also a show that's part of the Olympia weekend. You're at the Olympia, but you're not at the Olympia. And that's, it's one of these days we'll get to see you there sometime soon. We hope it. Now, what would be your biggest dream to happen besides getting your pro card? What would you like for yourself? Hello. Dang. First, we have technical difficulties
in bodybuilding. It's an honor just to be on the Olympia. One day, that's probably the biggest goal.
Yeah, that's always everybody's dream to get to the big time. It's like being in the Major League Baseball, or being in. You want to get out of the minor leagues and hit to the pros. Uh, Once again, my brother XA Gucci 23, 5 likes. Brother George, I appreciate that. And once again, my sister, Miss Fishiana Fights. Hello, George, Amanda, and chat. Hello, Miss Fishiana Fights. We appreciate you coming through. We appreciate everybody. You comment, share, you like, subscribe. You can, like I said, you can follow Miss Snooks on Facebook, IG. Support her. Also, she also has a Facebook. She has a YouTube page. So maybe she can use some more subscribers. We want to get her to a level where recognition, and also I think one thing with judges, I think if you get more recognition, that especially good recognition, that kind of helps with you, in the come up. What doesn't it? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely promoting yourself, building a brand. That way, once you do become a pro, people are going to know who you are.
Mm-hmm. So much as else with the life of words and things, I know I'm dragging a little bit, but we do appreciate her time. And I know you are a busy lady. She just got home and she's getting ready to eat. So I don't want to hold her up too long. And I enjoyed talking with her. I enjoy doing content with you ladies because it is a great way to get recognition. That's why my channel is dedicated to just not just bodybuilding, but I think women's sports in general. Because like I said, I was raised by my mother and my older sisters, and I respect for women. I used to work a couple of jobs for a lot of women. Here with my man X23, it's not good to use Wi-Fi to do live streams. It's buffers too much. Yeah, you gotta, because that's why it's like I said, I got mine. If you are using your phones like that, it's best, or it's best sometimes to do it like a place where it's a strong Wi-Fi. But we next time we get that straight. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, while we, like I said, I don't want to hold you up because like I said, you just get back home from working out. You want to eat. You want to enjoy the rest of your day. You have anybody you want to get a shout out to? Somebody you want to say who supports you from your family, your friends?
I would just say hello to all my family and friends in Canada, and stay strong with everything that they're going through right now, and just support to all of my fellow competitors, physique and bodybuilding women. I always love everything I see about you guys, and constantly inspired by your work. So.
Well, like I said, we're inspired by you, Miss Snooks, and we hope for your opportunity to finally get your pro card. As we maybe see you on a big stage, maybe the Olympia, maybe the Rising Phoenix, or / Arizona Pro. And like I said again, if you are somebody who genuinely want to help an up and coming competitor, she is an NPC legend. I would call her. She has her foot on the ground, 10 toes down. Reach out to her. Be genuine about if you can. If you are a sponsor, if you follow my channel, you are a sponsor. Reach out to some of these ladies. They can really use the help financially. Supportive, whatever thing you can do. Because like I said, this is a sport where it takes a lot out of their time, a lot out of their pockets, and you gotta respect their commitment and passion for it. So and also my rule again, guys. I know you're not gonna listen to me because you're hard headed. And no D pics. None. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Be respectful, So, like I said, I really like to thank you, Amanda, for coming through. I enjoyed my conversation with you. I hope we're still chopping up on Facebook like we usually do every now and then. But maybe if you ever have anything you want to share or tell, stories you want to tell, you can just send me a message, and I'll happy to have you on here again. Anyway, folks, I'd like to thank my brother Execution23. Yeah, I'd like to thank my brother Execution23, Brooke Burrell, KLA, and my sister Miss Ficiana for coming through. I'd like to thank everybody who likes and comments, subscribe to this channel. Also, like, comment, subscribe to Miss Snooks, and support women in the sport of bodybuilding. These ladies, they work hard, and you have to respect their compassion and commitment to this sport. Anyways, it's Amanda George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk. Don't subscribe. I am out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.